there's addiction in my family, and how can I have God heal the addiction in my family, the chains of addiction. And yeah, this is a really personal one for me because addiction has ravaged my entire family, literally. So it's just a really painful subject because I know how hopeless one can feel. I know how hopeless I have felt with my own family. And I can say all of this too because I was at a point in my life where I was doing drugs and I was making really, really bad choices when I was a teenager, and I was on a real path of destruction. God is in the business of healing addiction and setting the oppressed free. So I know for sure that prayer and supplication can definitely heal the generational curses of addiction that run in families. And so I would definitely recommend that you pray for your family all the time and that you pray for deliverance. Maybe you could, Google what deliverance means. I can tell you in layman's terms that basically it's pulling sort of like demons out of your body. And Jesus Christ can do that. But the Lord was very clear that some curses and some afflictions can only be healed through fasting and prayer. So, fasting, I don't really like to fast because I love food. Just being honest here. I find it really challenging to fast. But even if you just fasted for lunch, if you just skipped lunch and you said, I'm going to do this for my brother's addiction, or I'm going to do this for my mother's addiction, or for my whole family's addiction, I'm going to skip lunch. In Jesus' name, I'm going to give up my salad. I'm going to give up my bowl of pasta. I'm going to give up my sandwich. I'm going to give it up for the Lord. And you might start to quicken the spirit, and you might start to see radical changes. So I would definitely suggest lots of prayer and fasting. Just be careful with the whole fasting thing because, I'm not a doctor and I just don't want anyone to, form a problem, start a habit of not eating. Like that would definitely be unhealthy. Definitely continue to eat, but it is biblical that fasting works. So I would suggest you try the prayer and the fasting. And also just remember that you are a light to the world and that you're a light to your family, and that everywhere you go, you are invading and illuminating darkness just because you are a child of God and you have Christ dwelling in you. He actually takes residence inside of your body. So you're more powerful than you think. And you can definitely shift the atmosphere just by being in that person's presence and having the boldness to perhaps even lay hands on them and pray for them. It's not always an easy thing to do, to lay hands on someone and pray for them, but you would be surprised how many people are willing to receive prayer and a laying of hands. I've been shocked in the past because I've thought, oh, this person is going to reject me, this person's going to yell at me, this person's going to, roll their eyes at me, or whatever your fear is. But they were actually willing, like, okay, you want to pray for me? That's cool. Pray for me. So don't be afraid to take a leap of faith and ask them if you can pray with them. What else would I recommend? I don't know. Addiction is just so ugly and it is so scary and it is a true monster. I know that it can bring an entire family down and it breaks families apart, and it is something that can feel extremely hopeless. But there's always hope in Jesus Christ. There's just always hope. Pray unceasingly for your family or for whoever it is that is experiencing addiction. Pray unceasingly for them. And I guarantee you, you're going to see some shifts. You're going to see something. And it may not be overnight. Again, it may take some time, but you will see some shifts. But the enemy is not messing around when it comes to drugs. The enemy uses that as a weapon against the human soul. And it's really, really terrible. And it's really wicked. And I've seen people die from their addictions firsthand. And I've seen families just completely and utterly slayed and gutted by the disease of addiction. So all I can say is pray, fast, and talk to your pastor about it too. Talk to your pastor about it for sure.